So this is me. This is our business. Lucas Properties was started about 12 years ago. My wife and I, Michelle's back there. This is just a little bit about us, the things we've done for rental properties, flips, wholesales. This is what we'll talk about in our group. If you're new to this group, most of the people here have already seen this, so I'll continue. And what I want to ask you and tell you to make sure that you have an agenda while you're here. So I have an agenda. My agenda to be here is to network with you guys, to learn from you guys, and to ultimately get deals done. Okay? So I want to make sure that when you're here, you have an agenda. So for the rest of the night, think about why you're here. If you want to buy a house to flip, do you want a rental house, do you just want to learn and network, whatever it is, or if you got cash in your pocket that's burning a hole and you want to lend it, don't tell anyone else, come tell me, and we'll talk about it. So just know what you want to do while you're here, and have that in your mind while you're here, okay? What to expect from REI Live. We are education focused. We are here just to broaden the network here in Columbia. We have lots of investors. You guys know, if you're new to this, you probably are seeing a bunch of new faces, but guess what? We've been investing in here for a long time. A lot of people in this room have been doing this a long time. So we want to bring everybody together. Columbia's on the cusp. I keep talking about it. Greenville and Charleston, they're on fire. What's right there in the middle? Look, I mean, Columbia. There's a lot of opportunities for us. So that's what we're here to do. We want to help train you guys. Anybody that's new, if you need to learn something or branch out into your business, there will be somebody in this room that can help you with that, okay? We do have experts from across the country and local. We want to focus on local. We have a great expert today. He'll probably say, I don't know the expert, but he's pretty good. He's been doing it a long time. And then, so we bring people from across the country and local. Upcoming events, take a picture of that real quick. Those events, I believe, are in the Facebook group, but I want you just to remember so that you have that. This is when we will meet, essentially, usually it's every third Tuesday. September and October, that switches up, but it's not that difficult to remember. I'll give you a chance to take that picture. And sorry, if I get it. So I did not get the MLS data because I was slack and I forgot, and so I didn't ask for it until earlier today. And then people are busy. So this was last month's data, and basically days on market has gone way down, which is pretty typical for the market season. But we're looking at little here we go. Closed deals around around 60 something days. I think it was 61 days on market. So it's a pretty good market. I'm assuming that it continued to go down for days on market for the month of May. So I'll send that. I'll get somebody that'll post that, or at least give me the data so I can put it in the Facebook group. Probably can't share this in the Facebook group. But I did want to talk about, has anybody gotten a letter from the assessor's office in Richland County? Nobody? Nobody's got reassessed on their property? I don't know if they actually send you a letter about that. Maybe until after they reassess it and they say, oh yeah, you have to pay a bigger bill this year. But it is a reassessment year. They're starting, I think they actually start in like June. They deal with their calendar year, which is weird. But I think they started in June and started reassessing everybody in Richland County. So that's going to be fun. The county and city are doing their budgets right now. They're working on that proposal. So a few of the things that stood out to me that I want to bring to you guys as a group, because this affects you all, is we have Dominion Energy. Has anybody heard of them, right? Did everybody get a check for any house that you own? Or did you get one? Was it $1,000 like they said? What were y'all supposed to get, $1,000 or something like that? I didn't get $1,000. I can tell you that much. Yeah, it's a couple of pennies.
$1 a month over the next 1,000 months.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I'll take that, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't very much, but so Dominion Energy came in, but however, there is something going on. Basically, we're getting cheaper energy rates. So it's like a 15% decrease on our energy rates, which is great, right? So I was pretty excited about that. But then, come to find out, City of Columbia is upping their rates by like 21% over the next 3 years. So you get a 7% increase in the City of Columbia this year. So just as your landlord, you're paying for your utilities that you rent out. That's pretty much going to be a wash. So just so you know. We also have a big topic here is the 6%. Anybody owning rentals knows about the 6%, right? It's a big thing, and for me, actually, I might be in the minority, but I like that idea. I like the 6% because it keeps everybody that's out of state from investing in Columbia. The people that are in North Carolina, they'd rather stay there because their taxes are cheaper, which means less competition. But one thing that when I was listening to the city go through their budget, the city actually hasn't changed their tax rate on us in something like 20 years. It's always been the school boards. The school board millage keeps going up. So that's something to keep an eye on. Whatever school district you're in, that will affect what you're paying in your property tax, that 6%. Because as a investor, you don't get that school board break like you do as an owner occupant. So that's going on in the city. That's kind of what they were talking about at the, I think that was all of it. Yeah, that's all they were talking about at the meeting. So anyway, I wanted to give you guys a little pep talk before Matt gets up. Because this is an opportunity. You're in this room. There's a lot of folks in this room that may have never done a deal before. Has anyone in here never done a real estate transaction as an investment? Okay, we got a couple. How many have done it very recently for the first or second time? If you like getting new into the business? Yeah, right, Freddie? That's right, Freddie's got the first one. So, the idea is, it was a little bit uncomfortable doing the first one, right? From start to finish, right? Right, Brandon? Very uncomfortable, right? Our bodies, our brains, our society, we've been kind of groomed and built for centuries, right? And the cavemen were built for survival. They had to survive. They worked to survive. For us, for you, here, every day, how much work do you actually have to do to survive? None, right? Brandon's like, no. If you just wake up, you're probably in air conditioning, you're probably in a bed, you probably have tap water, and you probably have a cupboard full of food, right? Or if you don't have a cupboard full of food, you can walk down the street and get something, right? You're not really fighting for survival. Which that's kind of good. Like, I'm okay with that. However, it makes us comfortable. And it makes us, dare I say, lazy, right? So as a people, as a society, and as your peers even, you get comfortable and you get lazy. And you don't go out there and stretch yourself to get uncomfortable. So when our basic needs are met, when our shelter, food, water, security, when that's met, we relax. We just chill. And most of the world, I'd say, well, not the world, but the U.S., who are comfortable, 95% of us stay comfortable and just float on through life. Have any of you got in the car from work or going to work and just get in the car and you wind up at home and you don't remember a thing? Has that ever happened to you? Oh yeah. That's called floating through life, right? You're so comfortable. You know exactly what's going on. You know exactly what turn to take. You just do it literally like subconsciously. You just show up at home. And you're supposed to get milk or dry cleaning and you're like, dang it, you got to turn. So that's what I mean by being comfortable. And 95% of us just go through life just like that. Day in, day out. Comfort, comfort, comfort. We get our little snuggie blanket at night. We turn on Game of Thrones, and we just chill, right? So what I want to encourage you to do, and what I want to push you to do, is to seek discomfort. Go out there, stretch, try to do something a little bit more uncomfortable. Because, Freddie's, if you hadn't gotten uncomfortable with real estate, would you have done that deal yesterday or earlier today? Would you have made however many $1,000s? Nope. But would you have been fine? You would have been living. You would have survived, right? Crandon, you'd be fine. You'd survive. You'd wake up, tap water's in the water pipe so you can drink. You're not going to die. But getting out there, getting uncomfortable, coming into this room, meeting new people, that's getting uncomfortable. So what do I mean by that? Or how do you manage discomfort? Okay, because it's uncomfortable to be uncomfortable, right? It's not easy to go out there and get uncomfortable. It's not easy to go out there and put yourself out there. So you have to actually manage those emotions. You have to know what to expect and know how to handle it. So get a clear, I hope you can read this, it's kind of small now. Get a clear mind and vision. So what I mean by that is, for me, it's praying. You guys can meditate, take a nap, read a book, call your grandma, whatever it is that will help clear your mind and so that you can actually settle your body, because there is emotional responses when you get uncomfortable, right? You got fight or flight. So settle your mind, settle yourself so that you can understand and see what's going on around you, okay? When you get in that uncomfortable situation. And then identify the source of that uncomfortable feeling. And what I mean by that is not just like, oh, I'm uncomfortable going into large groups, or I'm uncomfortable making that cold call. That's not what makes you uncomfortable. It's fear of rejection. You know, fear of when you call that homeowner and you say, I want to buy your house, and they're going to say, shut up, and hang up on you, right? That's what really scares you, right? And then understanding, you know, I might be embarrassed when I walk into a big room and I've never done a deal before. It's not that you're afraid to be in a group, it's you're afraid to be embarrassed, right? So, and this one, the imposter syndrome is a big one for new real estate investors, so I put it on there. Is when you're going to try to do a deal and you're trying to buy a house or something, and you feel like you can't do it, or you're faking it because you've never done a deal before. But everybody has to do their first deal, right? So you're not faking it, you're not being an imposter, you're just trying to be an investor, and you've got to do the first one. So I put that one on there for those of you who are like, you know, I've never done this before, how are they going to trust me? Everybody has the first one. All right, step 3 is to reflect or remember, and this is after when you calm yourself down and you just look at the details. Look at what made you uncomfortable. Is it because you're embarrassed? Okay. Well, think about when was the last time you thought you'd be embarrassed, or when was the last time you were embarrassed, or last time your friend was embarrassed, or your mom or dad or whatever. And then what happened? Okay. What was the outcome of that situation? Did it turn out okay? Did it turn out better? Did it turn out a growth, or did it turn out bad? So reflect and remember how those situations went so that you can then move past it. And then the biggest is go all in. And I put in there cannonball because I was visualizing my son jumping into the pool. As I'm like tiptoeing in, I'm like, this pool is cold. I'm like, I got 2 toes in, and he's like, forget it. He's in. So go all in. Don't tiptoe. Don't put your big toe into the discomfort. Go all in. Get uncomfortable. Go in it, and you have to commit to it, because otherwise you're just going to fail and you'll quit. Because what would you rather be than in the uncomfortable situation? Where would you rather be? In the comfort zone, right? You'd much rather be comfortable sitting on the couch, not at this meeting trying to learn something about real estate, right? Not sitting in front of a seller trying to figure out what to offer them. You'd much rather be at home watching Game of Thrones or whatever. Is it over? Is that season? It's totally done, right? So I can get rid of that. All right, so go cannonball. Go all in. Start to finish, jump in. And then this is where it gets serious, okay? So this is where you are now. Like, you've already gone through this discomfort. You're already there. You've taken the extra step more than your peers, more than maybe your parents or your friends and your sisters, brothers, whatever. You are uncomfortable at this point because you're in this room. You've actually done it at least once, okay? Not everybody can get into real estate investing. Not everybody can come this far. So you've been uncomfortable at least once, so great. Now it takes these 3 things, and I like the 3 C's here. So courage. Courage is to take the plunge. You've already started, so you've taken the plunge. But what you have to do is stay the course and commit. Okay? It takes courage to get started, but that commitment is what's going to see you through to the end. Okay? Commitment. You guys, if anybody in wholesaling, commitment in postcards, commitment in cold calls. It's a numbers game, right? It is. I know that. You just have to commit. You have to keep going. Rental properties. If you want to make your money in rental properties, you've got to commit and go for it. You can't just get one and say, that was fun, okay? Flipping, you better see that flip to the very end, or you will fail. So commit will get you to the finish line. Control, while you're in the middle of this comfort zone, you have to control yourself. Oops, I just killed that. You have to control your emotions, yourself, your reactions, and your energy. What I mean by that is you are going to react to discomfort. You are going to get into places where you have never been before and you don't know what to do. And at that point is when you need to step back and relax and figure out exactly what makes sense for your business and for your life. Okay? So don't take emotional responses. Don't let the energy drain you. You got to stay up, stay with it, stay committed. And then competition. And this is my favorite. This is really, I think most of you can probably pick one of these three that's going to be the one that drives you through discomfort. The competition one is what that really gets me going to the next level. And that's not competition with anybody in here, which is kind of weird because we are all about collaboration. We like to work together. You JV a lot of deals, don't we? So we like to work together. But competition for me is it's with myself. Is what can we do better? Like what can we do tomorrow that's going to make yesterday look like we were doing it halfway, right? So how can we grow our business? How can we grow ourselves? And that's what drives me. So, you know, you can compete with history, you can compete with your friend across the aisle, you can compete with yourself. Or anybody that's in a family business, you can do better than your dad, right? So competition is what drives me, and you guys can figure that out for yourself, but competition is what keeps me going, driving through.